What's up, guys? It's Scar here for theScore eSports here with Hard from Team Echo Fox after their recent O2 loss against Apex. I want to ask, you guys were looking really good into TSM Game 1, and people expected, or I expected higher expectations of you guys today, and it kind of didn't really show. What was your prep like for the day after the TSM matches?
So I think for the TSM game it was a lot. We prepared a lot more than we did for the Apex games. For the Apex games, it was kind of like a curveball for us because we played Shen in the TSM games and we were basically debating how the pick ban was going to go and what they're going to ban and if they were going to ban Cassio and everything. And they did end up banning Cassio and we practiced a lot in the week. So I guess it didn't really throw us off that they banned it from us, but it made the game a bit more difficult for us.
Speaking about the draft, so the first game, one, I saw that you guys didn't even have a third ban, and two, it's really rare for me to see a team get both Vlad and Rek'Sai. How did the priority go in the draft the first game? Because I was just really confused watching as a spectator.
So we missed the ban because we couldn't decide if we wanted to ban Swain or Nidalee. So either way, Vlad and Rek'Sai would have been up. And we wanted to play Olaf into Rek'Sai. So that's why we gave him Rek'Sai on top of Vladimir. But yeah, I guess that's just it. Like we missed a ban and we had a plan coming through and it didn't work out, I guess.
Every team right now is valuing Vlad at like a ridiculously high level, and to the point where everyone's just telling me just ban Vlad. You know, the only counterpick I've seen so far is like I think at some level Swain was okay, and then Nivea actually wins, but it gets auto banned against your team almost all the time. So what made Azir like? What was the idea that you guys could handle Vladimir in the first game? I'm just trying to get your thoughts about it.
Well, in our scrims actually, Vladimir, no matter what team we've played so far, Vladimir actually doesn't look that broken. Although, just looking at the champion, just seeing in other games, like the champion like 1v9s and everything, but just playing against it, it doesn't seem that strong. I'm not sure if it's just Froggen playing against it or maybe the other mid laner playing Vladimir into Froggen. I guess Froggen just lanes really well into Vladimir. It just doesn't seem to do that much outside of team fights, of course.
Well, let me ask you a little bit more about the other drafts. In Game 2, you ended up picking Hecarim. Hecarim's becoming a more popular pick. You saw P1 play it quite a bit, and now it's picked up by you. What do you think about Hecarim? Like, what are his strengths?
His strengths? I think if you pair it up with Shen, if your duo matches the other duo, you can always just pop Ghost and E over, and then you can engage a 2v4 like pretty much instantly, and there's like almost no counterplay to that. Like you have to TP like pretty much instantly, and even then they can just disengage from their play, right? So I think Hecarim's greatest strength is just pushing down like a side lane. Like the later the game goes, I don't think he's that good, but definitely early game he's like really strong.
I have to ask though, you guys ended up getting the great combo like Shen Hecarim. What made it hard in the mid game for you guys to engage fights? Because like you said, you want to just run down the lane, you just go on the bot lane, but maybe like the bot lane broke out of lane very quickly. What made it so that you couldn't engage during the mid game?
So that game was actually a lane swap, and so both towers were down, and that's actually pretty good because when their bot lane like starts pushing down the wave, then you can come in as Hecarim when Shen's level 6, then you can just ghost and do the same thing and you have a really long lane to work with, and that's actually really good for us. But I think it came down to when I was on the same side as our duo, they swapped, and so we lost an opportunity there and we didn't match them properly, I think. And then we tried to do it on Fiora, which was probably a mistake because she just ended up walking back and recalling, right? And then I think we pushed it into their tower and then ran down mid, something like that.
A lot of times when I look at lower rated teams, they have a really hard time pushing any advantage in the mid game. When I see top tier teams, I just see them invade buffs every single time they're up. A good example is your second game. I think overall you got 4 total buffs the entire game. What do you kind of think about that?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with Nidalee, and Hecarim's not really, he doesn't have an execute or anything, but there's another problem with that is during the beginning of our lane swap, the Nidalee actually, she got to start off with the 3 buff, right? And that's because I started top side, right? Because I think I don't remember exactly, but I think we assumed that we were going to match them, right? And I wanted it to end up with Shen. So it just so happened that they lane swapped at that moment, and then I got 3 buffed, and so from there Nidalee has the lead and she can just walk around. And Nidalee's able to get like a lot of wards in, right? And I built Blue Smite and I didn't have wards myself, so we just had to wait till Shen hit level 6, and then Also, another problem was that we didn't. What am I saying? I didn't. I don't think our. I don't remember the game too correctly now, but I think our bot lane was on the wrong side of their duo. So if we matched, we'd be able to contest a lot easier.
What do you think about your team as a whole? Like, obviously, you have moments of greatness. You guys beat TSM, one of the only three teams or teams to beat TSM so far in the split. What do you kind of see yourselves like right now and where you're going?
I think we can only go up from here, and we've been putting on like a lot of hours, a lot of extra hours in preparation and planning, and after scrims, just more review. Uh, I think so far our team like we prop we probably have the most trouble setting up plays, but outside of that, if we get out of the early game, I think we usually get a lead outside of the from the early game. We usually get a lead, and after that, we end up stalling too long, waiting for items, and I guess we do play too passive. So I guess that's what I think about our team right now. But I think as like weeks go on, as soon as we can figure out how to engage and create these situations where we can set up fights, I think our team's going to play a lot better.
I want to ask, who helps you set up this improvement? Because recently, I know you guys let go of your old coach, Cop. Is there someone stepping in his place and someone you have lined up in terms of interviews or someone who you're trying out?
So before Cop stepped down, we had two analysts come in. Before that, uh, people probably don't know them. I only know them by their first names, right? And then we have Heaven Time came in as well, and I think we're getting more staff coming in too. But I think Heaven Time is going to be our coach for the weeks going forward.
Has he already shown a significant like improvement, or has he shown how to improve you guys from behind the scenes that most people don't know?
He actually came Friday night, so we haven't been able to scrim much with him. But I think so far, like outside, just for the review of the LCS games, it's been pretty helpful. Yeah.
I notice a lot of times after the games, whatever happens, I see Rick Fox come up on stage, and then you guys take typically a long time to come out. Does he give you guys like a pep talk after every game? And if so, like is it crazy? Like it seems so long. Like, can you fill me in on what happens behind the scenes?
Oh, so win or lose, Rick usually gives us I guess a speech. Like so today we lost 0-2, right? He gave us like a motivational speech, like I guess like just based on improvement, right? And it just whenever he starts talking, it just keeps going for quite some time. Yeah.
But is it helpful for you guys? Like, not many people have an owner like that caring, because he's technically an investor and an owner. But like, you don't see like the NRG guys come behind the stage and like, oh man, good job, good job. Like, how do you typically feel about this?
It's actually it's nice after LCS games, but uh, maybe sometimes when we're practicing, it's like not needed, right? But I think overall, it's like it's a positive for a team to have.
And lastly, I have to ask, before throughout the season, you used to swap with Grigne in and out, maybe in between games. I'm wondering, is that still going to happen going the rest of the season, or are you going to be like the steady main player?
Mm. I think for now, I'm going to be playing, but I think maybe in the future that Grigne is going to come in again and we're going to swap games.
Would you say he has anything that is different than how you play? Like any kind of either champion pool or certain strengths that he has that you don't have?
I actually think me and Grigne, like we pretty much play the same, and I think our champion pools are almost identical, and our communication's pretty similar. I think maybe as of now he's better than me mechanically, but I think I'm a smarter player than him, and I think that's just the two differences between me and him.
Do you have any final thoughts, any final comments to say to your fans out there?
I just want to say thanks for supporting Echo Fox and supporting me, and I hope for the next few weeks we're gonna bring in some wins and make you guys proud.
Hopefully they won't be at the bottom of the standings for much longer. There's a scar from theScore eSports. Here, you can find more content online or on our mobile app. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a nice day.